Okay guys, today for a review we have some Xtreme production parts for the Blade 130X, and I'm going to do these all in one video. I'm going to unbox them and put them on my helicopter and give you some information about them and tell you what I think about them. And today we have the titanium main shaft collar, the aluminum swash plate, titanium rotor hub, blade grips, and fast response blades, and stability blades. And we're going to start with the main shaft collar. And because of the package that's in, I'm going to do this off camera and install on my helicopter and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so I installed the titanium main shaft collar, and it is directional, and what I mean by that is, see on this side, the opening is larger for the screw, and it is not threaded, and you want it that way so that on the other side, which is threaded, that's where your screw screws into, and you can secure it with some thread lock if you'd like. And the machining on this piece is very nice, and it lines up with the holes in the main shaft perfectly. And next we will look at the aluminum swash plate, which I have right here. And this is what the package will look like. And inside you have your instructions. And you have the Xtreme linkages, which the Xtreme links, they're perfectly straight, but the original links have a 90-degree bend in them. And now I'll open up the swash plate, which I have right here. And all of these balls are replaceable. You could take them out using a 1.5mm Allen wrench, and since they are metal, you want to secure them with some thread lock. And these arms here, the ones with the Xtreme logo on them, that is where the Xtreme links will go. But if you want to use the stock links, you'll use these other set of balls, but you can remove them if you're using the Xtreme linkages to save some weight. And the bearing on this is very, very smooth. It's kind of hard to show that on video. And the steel center ball is very smooth. And the swash plate itself is made out of 70-75 aluminum. And the smoothness of the bearing is going to make your helicopter fly a lot smoother. And the very strong aluminum arms are going to make cyclic response very crisp, compared to the stock swash plate, which I have right here. And the plastic on it is kind of soft, and in flight you might have bending of the arms, which isn't good. Your cyclic response won't be as precise. So now I'm going to install the swash plate on the helicopter, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I got the aluminum swash plate installed, and it fits on the main shaft perfectly. And as you can see, the machining on it is also very nice. And I'll show you the Xtreme linkages once we put on the rotor hub and blade grips. And next we will open up the rotor hub, which I have right here. And you have some shims. You have your instructions. And these instructions are very nice. Everything that is in darker print is an Xtreme part, and everything else is an original part. So as you can see, Xtreme has us adding some washers on the feathering shaft. And that's going to help tighten up our rotor head for better cyclic response. And then in this package, we have the hub, we have some screws, the head button, and the anti-rotation bracket, which is plastic. And the reason why they did this, making it a removable piece, is that Xtreme has a DFC head in prototype phase, and once that is available, you will be able to use the same swash plate, rotor hub, and blade grips with the DFC arms when they are available. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this rotor hub, and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's installed. Okay, so I went ahead and installed the rotor hub, which is made of titanium. As you can see, it features the Xtreme logo on both the top of the head button and in the middle of the rotor hub. And the shims that come in the package, they actually fit in behind the dampers, which you use as the stock parts from your original 130X head. And the plastic anti-rotation bracket, once again, it's directional, just like our main shaft collar was. Hopefully my camera will focus. There you go. As you can see, it has a larger hole on this side for the screw. And now we will take a look at the aluminum blade grips, which I will open up now. And one thing to mention is that all of these head parts are also available in a red color instead of silver. And you can see here are the blade grips, spacers, and I'll tell you what these are for in a second. And once again, we have a very nice set of instructions. And one thing about these blade grips is that they have thrust bearings, which is a very nice upgrade over stock, which only features radial bearings. This has radial and thrust bearings. And these, once I have the blade grips open, I'll show you. But the reason for these blade spacers is, and I'll show you how you use these too, is that Xtreme use such large bearings, which is a really nice feature because they'll last a lot longer and make your helicopter a lot smoother, that the blade grips are larger, so for the blades to fit into the blade grip, you're going to need the spacers. Right here, I have a blade grip. And these are made out of 70-75 aluminum, so they're going to be very, very strong. And my camera is not quite picking up on it, but it does feature the Xtreme logo on top. And one thing I forgot to mention about the rotor hub, but it's also part of the blade grip, is see this little indent? There's a matching indent on the rotor hub, and when those are lined up, it means your blades are at 0 pitch. And there's the Xtreme logo. And as you can see, the machining on these is very nice, just like the rest of the parts. And here I just have a stock blade grip. In the size difference, you can see here the opening on the Xtreme grip is definitely larger, which is needed because they fit it in larger bearings. And use thrust bearings as well, which is very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and install these on my helicopter, and I'll show you what they look like once they are installed. Okay, so the blade grips are now installed, and one thing I should note is that behind each O-ring, the shims I mentioned, you may need more than one per side. I ended up using 4 per side, and that took out all the play in my head, and the blade grips are silky smooth. They don't drag at all. The bearings are perfect. If you were to go like this, the rocking that you see, that's just the landing gear. But the head is nice and tightened up. You have no play there. You have no in and out play. The head fits together really nice and smoothly. And it goes together well. And the next thing that we're going to take a look at is the fast response main blades by Xtreme. And as you can see on the back, they have these cutouts to save weight, and that's just covered with a clear sticker. And included in the package is balancing tape if it's needed, but I'll let you know if these are balanced or not once I take them out of the package. And they make these same blades for the MCPX, and I use them on my MCPX, and they're very durable, the plastic that they use. So what I'm going to do is open these up and install them on the helicopter. And you'll also see how the spacers in the main blade grips work. So I'm going to go ahead and open up these blades, and I'll show you what it looks like once they're installed. Okay, I went ahead and installed one of the blades, and the blades, they were perfectly balanced, so I didn't have to use any of the tape that was included. And here is what it looks like with the spacers. Hopefully you can see what they look like. There, that might be better. And one thing to note when installing them is that there is a way to fold them. You can refer to the instructions and it will show you, but I will show you. There's a flat side and there's a carved out side. You want to fold it so that the carved outside is on the outside. So for this right blade grip over here, you're going to install it, fold it back. And you're just going to insert it like this. And it's easier if you put it on the blade first and then slide it all in as one unit. And then the outside of the blade grip is just going to fit right into this little cup. And they fit perfectly. And next we're going to go ahead and add the links to the head. Then once we're done that, we'll continue on with some more upgrades. Okay, so here are the links installed on the head. And they went on no problem. This is what the full metal Xtreme head looks like. Had no issues putting it together. And next we are going to take a look at the Xtreme black tail blades. And these are also available in red, just like the main blades are. And I'm going to go ahead and put them on and let you know if I see any differences. Okay, so I went ahead and installed the tail blades, and they fit no problem. And things I noticed about them is that, as you can see, they have more of a matte finish, while this stock blade over here has a shiny finish. And the plastic that the Xtreme tail blades are made out of, it seems a lot stiffer, and it would be more resistant to getting scratched up on the ground. And one other thing I noticed is the way that they're cut is that they're shorter than the stock blade at the bottom, but they're longer than the stock blade at the top, so they do have a slightly different cut to them. And overall, they just seem like they'll make a very nice upgrade. So, one upgrade that I forgot to mention that I do have is the solid main shaft. And the obvious advantages of the solid main shaft is that it's solid instead of hollow like the stock one, so it'll just be less likely to crack or break in a crash. Installing it would be the same as a normal main shaft, so I'm not going to show you how to do it, but it is an upgrade that is available. And overall, the complete aluminum head upgrade for the Blade 130X by Xtreme is an overall nice upgrade. It really tightened up the head over stock, and it's going to make your 130X fly great. If you have any questions about any of these parts, feel free to leave a comment in the section below.